Since we launched staking in July last year, Cardano has grown and matured to be the leading proof-of-stake network in the world. Alongside a vibrant network of independent stake pools, the protocol has also driven a new non-profit paradigm. Nearly $500 million worth of ADA is currently delegated to mission-driven pools, generating rewards for ADA holders, but also supporting great causes. Here's Eva Oberholzer and the Cardano Foundation team to tell us more about how this exciting and inspiring new area is developing from new charity partnerships, from Save the Children to payment gateways with our partners COTI.
5 million students on Cardano. This truly is a sign for blockchain becoming of age. Very warm welcome from the Cardano Foundation. My name is Eva. I'm the Chief Growth Officer, and I'm thrilled to be here with you and share some exciting news. Since the launch of the Shell mainnet last year and the introduction of proof-of-stake delegation mechanisms, our stateful operators not only have taken over the production of all the blocks, they've also introduced new business model which actually connects blockchain to sustainable finance and to donations. Some of you might have seen our latest press release. We've announced that over 10,000 delegators, which means people that hold ADA, have delegated over $500 million worth of ADA to mission-driven stake pools. This means that Cardano allows ADA holders, on the one hand, to earn rewards while investing in a good cause. And at the same time, it allows charity organizations to have a new source of income and process payments within the projects and cross-border more easily and transparently. What better way is there to exemplify the community's pioneering spirit and our loyalty towards our mission? At the Cardano Foundation, our mission is to make Cardano accessible to a broader audience and to drive adoption. To do this, we work with organizations and projects. We educate them and we help them with critical infrastructure or with technical integrations. I'm excited to announce that the Cardano Foundation will be working together with Save the Children in Africa and enable donations to empower communities in East Africa based on blockchain. Elliot, Jeremy, and I sat together with their team in Africa and with other partners to explore this huge partnership and explain a bit more in detail what it's all about. We are delighted to be joined today by some very special guests, several members of Save the Children and Kind Stake Pool, Cedric. Also joining me today is Elliot Hill, a valued member of our communications team at the Cardano Foundation. I'll now hand over to Eleanor Harsel, Director of Program Development and Quality at Save the Children. Eleanor, would you please introduce yourself and your team members, as well as telling us a little about where you're located and what you're currently working on, what your mission is in Africa?
So I'm Eleanor. I'm the Director of Program Development and Quality for Save the Children's Rwanda and Burundi Country Office. And I'm joined by my colleagues James, Kathy, and Odette.
Hi everyone, my name is James Rayner. I'm the Head of Corporate and Philanthropic Partnerships for Save the Children's East and Southern Africa Regional Office.
Hi, I'm Kathy Uwimana, working at Save the Children in Rwanda, based in Kigali, and I work there as the Congo Hub Manager.
My name is Odette Ntambara, and I am the Communication and Advocacy Manager at Save the Children Rwanda and Burundi Country Office.
Save the Children is the world's largest independent organization for children. We were founded over 100 years ago, and we work in more than 100 countries around the world. Our team here today is based in East and Southern Africa, most of us based in Rwanda. Globally, Save the Children's mission is to inspire breakthroughs in the way the world treats children. We work across 3 breakthroughs: survive, protect, and learn, with the mission that every child survives, that every child is able to benefit from basic education, and children are protected from all forms of violence. Our work in Rwanda in particular is a little bit special and different these days, and that we're trying a number of new approaches, looking at how we can work with the private sector with different sources of funding to achieve some of those same breakthroughs but using different means, different kinds of partnerships than we traditionally have had with governments and donors, and different kinds of donors to get them involved in changing the way the world treats children.
Thanks, everyone. And it's really nice that so many of you could be here today. It's really interesting to hear more about your missions in Africa. And I'm going to go ahead and ask the question that's on everyone's lips, which is, why is accepting digital assets important to save the children? And how do you think that Cardano and the blockchain space in general could align and help you deliver on your missions?
Thanks, Elliot. It's a great question, and actually it's one that we've really started to shift our focus to at the moment. Blockchain in particular is really exciting. We've spoken about things like refugees. When they cross a border, often their identity, their educational record, whatever it might be, is completely lost. So it just makes a horrendous situation even worse, because it's really hard to kind of start again. Blockchain is a great example of something that we could leverage to support that work and give people a kind of a digital identity for their education, for whatever else it might be, to make kind of starting again a lot easier. That's just one example. Supply chain is another big one. We work in humanitarian crises across the region, so being able to map our supply chain with other NGOs is another exciting area. More generally and more specific for our investment work, crypto is a great way for us to kind of simplify our processes, and even things like paying some of the refugees that we're working with who are part of one of our programs. It's an exciting thing to do. So not only as a way to kind of fund our investments, blockchain and the whole kind of crypto scene is something that we're really keen to get involved with, not only to fund our work, but also to kind of unlock these exciting new ways to basically deliver more impact for children.
Thank you, James. It's inspiring that you have chosen the Cardano ecosystem to expand your ability and to work together with us and accept donations. I'm going to introduce you to Cedric Lustra, who is one of our largest mission-driven stake pool operators. Cedric is based in France and runs Kind Stake Pool. Cedric, you have donated to Save the Children in the past through Kind Stake Pool. Can you tell us why running a mission-driven pool is important to you, and why do you consider to donate to Save the Children?
Thanks, Eva, and hello to the Cardano community. My name is Cedric. I'm a French mission-driven stake pool operator. I'm joining you today from warm, sunny Montpellier in south of France. Our pool is Kind, K-I-N-D, and the mission to turn Cardano into charitable giving is a large part of what drives our pool. Since day one, it was really important for us to use ADA for social good. This is why every month we give back hundreds of dollars to our generous delegator. That's on top of their reward, and we donate a percentage of our profit to charitable organizations. Alongside other stake pool operators, we have adopted a strong focus on African charitable organizations and how we, as a stake pool operator, can help them meet their humanitarian goals. Africa is a really important focus for us because Africa is such a beautiful continent. It doesn't deserve the way it has been treated. Most people think Africa is a poor continent, but it's not the case. Most people in Africa may be poor, but the continent itself is one of the richest in terms of natural resources. So we strongly believe that the way to ensure that everyone has enough food, water, energy, and to change the way those resources are distributed. And we think that Cardano blockchain will be able to solve this problem. Not many people know, but in Africa, Africa pays more money to rich countries that it's receiving aid. This has to change, and it's about time to give back to African people. This is why we have looked for ways to bring Cardano and ADA cryptocurrency to charity across the continent. Last January, we've made a donation to Save the Children. At the time, it was around 660 ADA. And this month we donated over 1,100 ADA, which is around like 1,300 pounds. So you'll be able to find the details of this donation on the Cardano blockchain. Why did we choose Save the Children? They've been working in Africa for more than 6 years. They work really hard to improve the life of Africa's children through better organization, better education, healthcare, and economic opportunity.
Thank you for taking the time to join us, Cedric. So to finish off this segment, it'd be great to hear more from the Save the Children team. And, you know, if you could ask our community to do anything, or how can they participate and help save the children, what would it be? And I think there's some initiatives that you're particularly passionate about right now. And one of those, I think, is the Kumwe initiative. So Catherine, if I could ask you to introduce that and tell us why you're passionate about that initiative.
So the Kumwe Hub comes from this idea of togetherness, working together to achieve greater impact. Kumwe in Kinyarwanda language, our national language, comes from an expression that says "turi kumwe." It means we stay together, we are together. So the Kumwe Hub really seeks to pilot groundbreaking private sector or third partner-led innovations to keep up with the ever-changing environment we live in, promoting inclusive technologies, innovation, and partnerships. As my colleagues say, we're piloting this African-based hub here in the Rwanda office to build inclusive innovation and investment for the next generation. We also have a component that is acting like a research and development component of the hub, where we are piloting groundbreaking ideas in the context of Rwanda or East Africa. We're also trying other many solutions that are seeks to improve the lives of refugees and children and their families wherever they are, improving our reach to the most vulnerable and the remote communities, but also leveraging on the rise of new technologies.
The Kumwe Hub is really our efforts to interact with the private sector and re-envision how we interact with the private sector. We, as an organization, are over 100 years old. We've been doing charity and humanitarian work for 100 years. However, the world is changing. The way we use digital technologies are changing. And there's a lot of social entrepreneurship in East Africa, East and Southern Africa, particularly in Rwanda. The government of Rwanda has really set itself up to pioneer technology and innovation, the way the government is organized, the way it prioritizes initiatives, and they're welcoming this kind of investment and innovation. There are so many startups in Rwanda. However, they don't always have access to the same populations that we as a humanitarian organization work with. And they don't always have that capital and resource to spring from a tiny little startup to actually reaching the populations that they have the potential to at scale. So we see a couple of ways of working with these startups or entrepreneurs, grants, and the other is through actually partnering in our lab to bring those innovations to scale. So we have a couple of really interesting and exciting things in our pipeline that we've started with. Some are using technology. For instance, we've been working with urban refugees to code images for artificial intelligence, so they're able to earn a decent livelihood from their phones. I think it was actually our pilot case, the average income was 10 times the average minimum wage in Rwanda. So that's an exciting innovation. So we're working with both high-tech and low-tech solutions to engage with the private sector and really transform how we as a charity or a nonprofit organization traditionally work.
Thank you so much, all of you. It's very interesting, and I guess we will have time to deep dive further into the various projects that you're working on. Also, I guess the meaning of Kumwe really fits well with Cardano, because even though we're decentralized, we very much stick together. And we are at the moment on a very, very exciting journey, and we can't wait to to further explore areas to work together.
It's great to find out more about Save the Children and the initiatives they are advancing across the African continent. We are now very excited to welcome to the Cardano ecosystem COTI. COTI are our payment gateway providers who have been busy building a dedicated way for charities to accept AIDA donations seamlessly. We are joined today by Shahaf Bar-Geffen, CEO at COTI Pay, who will be sharing more about this solution. I'll now hand over to Jeremy to take it away with the first question. Over to you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Elliot. So, Shahaf, could you please explain to our audience what solutions COTI is building for Cardano?
Sure thing. Some background. So, in case some of you haven't heard about COTI before, so COTI is a fully encompassing finance on blockchain solution that we've designed since 2017 to meet the challenges of legacy finance, specifically inclusion, fees, latency, and so on and so forth. And we're also solving things for digital type payments, and this is what brought us to the Cardano ecosystem. We've recently received the first investment of the Cardano ecosystem fund, but our relationship goes back 2 years earlier when we've started developing AIDA Pay. We are now actually upgrading AIDA Pay for Shelly mainnet and to meet all the new needs and cool features that Cardano has on the network, including native assets and so on and so forth. So AIDA Pay is the first thing that we launched on the Cardano ecosystem, but definitely not the last. We are already in touch with various teams in your ecosystem, and we're building more solutions that we'll present in the future.
And what opportunities do you think this has for charities such as Save the Children and our mission-driven pools that like to take rewards and donate to charitable organizations?
First of all, I think this is amazing, and this is a great privilege that the Cardano ecosystem has. As it stands today, right, you have on one side, you have the charitable organization that needs the money. And on the other hand, you have the pool that actually wants to donate the money. And what is happening today is that this pool needs to take the AIDA that he wants to donate, sell it, go back to legacy systems, send the money back to Africa so that the organization can receive it later on after some times and when fees have been deducted. And it's an indirect process. And as we know, when things are streamlined, they usually work better and people do more of it. So what we are building with AIDA Pay for charitable organizations is the ability for the pool to directly send AIDA to the charitable organization. So what it means is that the pool, with a click of a button, can donate the money that they want to donate, and that will go directly to the organization without any fees, without any latency, and with full transparency, which is also super important when it comes to donations. People want to know that their money is going where they hoped it will go. So you have all of that, and there's actually zero disadvantages to this process. It will work better, and it will probably grow the amount of donations. On the other hand, what you also have is the ability to for merchants and people that have just received a payment with AIDA through AIDA Pay to immediately donate some of it to organizations. And again, when the option is there and it's easy to use and people want to do the right thing, and we see $500 million waiting to do the right thing, then it becomes a real possibility, and this will grow. And again, we're just happy to be able to facilitate this.
There's $500 million worth of AIDA dedicated to mission-driven pools on Cardano. So this is a huge achievement and a massive milestone for our community. And I think that when payment gateways such as COTI become widespread and mainstream, we're going to see this number grow, and the potential for AIDA for charitable purposes will be much greater. So I think the next question that maybe our community are interested in finding out is just how easy will it be for a charity to accept AIDA and implement a payment gateway such as COTI in the future? And what are the impacts for charities?
I'll again begin by saying that $500 million is amazing, and I guess it comes from the alignment of the vision of Cardano, that blockchain is a social good, to the actions that people that hold ADA in the ecosystem actually take, and this is amazing. In terms of how easy it will be to implement, it will be an implementation for non-programmers, okay? You know, when technology works well, it works like magic. You're not even aware that it's present there. It just works. And this is how we're building this. So the idea is that any charitable organization can easily implement a widget in a website or use an app, or whatever form they choose to accept a charity will be there to support it. Other than that, we'll also have a support team, of course, ready to help in case help is needed. But this will not be the issue at all. If the charities are there and the organizations are there, and we know that's the case, the implementation will be a non-brainer, and we're happy to help.
That's great to hear, and I think it's what you're doing and what you've built is crucially important for the adoption of Cardano and ADA for charitable purposes. And I hope that we can see many more synergies there in the future, and I look forward to seeing what COTI and Cardano and Save the Children can do collectively.
Thank you, and thank you for letting us be part in this amazing cause.